What's going on, prosperity makers? Welcome to another Beyond Prosperous podcast, helping you live your legacy from potential to purpose in family, fortune, and faith. I'm so excited that you guys are here today. Today, we're talking about how God determines your worth, but the marketplace determines your value. So a couple of things have happened over the last couple of weeks that I haven't necessarily documented. And so we're going to get caught back up to speed over the next couple of videos and the next couple of podcasts. And so I'm super excited. So the things that have happened over the last couple of weeks is one, I launched my first challenge. So the course challenge, I launched the first challenge. And also I have a couple of other offers that I put into the marketplace. And also got another client that I'm working with. And so a couple of things have happened. And so, as I'm continuing to build my business and as I'm continuing to grow as a person, something that I've discovered is that there's almost like two lanes that we're having to grow in. And for me, it's the personal, and then it's the business. Now, obviously, that's just looking at it from the outside looking in, like that's obvious, that there is a business lane, then there's a personal lane. And so like discovering this, it makes me realize kind of what the channel is going to continue to develop and grow into and evolve into. But also it's making me realize that I'm talking to two different audiences. In a sense, I'm talking to two different aspects of the person, right? And so some of my content is going to be more tailored toward the person and that personal development. And really, I'm really talking to entrepreneurs on the personal side and on the business side. All right. So we got that clear. All right. So what I've learned, I got this new client, and a couple of weeks ago when we first talked, I told him a price, and then I went to a conference and we hadn't worked together yet. And then I worked with him, and then I told him a different price. So I told him the first price. And then the next time that we talked, I told him a higher price. And so his response was, it would be very disappointing if you're saying that this is the price that you're charging me now when we agreed on this price. Now there was no contract, there was nothing there to put like written in word, but there was a verbal communication. And this is the thing, when I messaged him, I told him, hey, this is the price that I'm wanting to charge you. And if we can agree on that, that would be great. If we can't, I'm willing to accept the first offer that I gave you. This is what happened. So over the course of the time that we talked the first time and the time that I actually worked with him, I had an identity shift. I had an identity shift where I understood what I was doing and how valuable it was, right? And so it wasn't that I was charging too much after I worked with him. It's that we had already agreed upon a thing. And the reason that I'm telling you that story is because after he responded the way that he did, I got taken back. Like I stopped posting daily. Like I lost momentum. And I understand why. The reason that I lost momentum is that I was hoping that him saying yes would validate my value, would validate my worth. And so after he said, like, that would be disappointing if you're charging me this price when we agreed on this price. The thing is, I know that I'm worth the second price, but I understand the value that he's going to have in my life way past the monetary value. And I didn't want to lose the relationship. And so I don't disagree with him. I appreciate him. Like him saying no to the offer, that's on me. That's on me because I wasn't the person that I needed to be when the opportunity first presented itself. Because I could have told him the first time he asked my price, I could have told him the price that I said the second time, and he would have accepted it, right? But it was because I didn't know. It was because I didn't see my own value the first time I made the offer. So the second time when I told him what I was actually wanted to charge him, then it was like, but we already said that we was going to do this price, and I already agreed to that. All right, so that the thing, the reason for the title of this podcast is because the thing is, I got so discouraged from that. It like I'm talking about a week, just like trying to build back up that confidence, trying to build back up that momentum. And so when you allow your life to be lived in a way that people can that you're wanting people to validate your worth, then you have a problem. Because when they say no, now you take it personally. And I'm sharing from personal experience, right? And so what I've learned is that God gives me my worth. The marketplace gives me my value. And what I mean by that is that y- you mean a lot to God. Like if you're a believer, if you're a Christian, you're his child, and that means the world to him. But in the marketplace, w- the Bible says that where a man's treasure is, his heart is also. So that means that where a man puts his money, that is high value. Regardless of where that what that thing is, where a man puts his money, man, woman, where a man puts his money, that is high value. And so if they're saying that, hey, I want to pay you for what the solution that you bring into a problem that I'm having, that means that is the value that you're bringing into their space, into their work, into whatever they're trying to create. And so the more the bigger the problem, the bigger the solution is to, or the bigger the problem is, and the more effective the solution is, the higher you can charge whenever you're charging what you charge. But if you don't understand your value, then you will automatically charge less than what you're worth. And so again, God was worth, you marketplace is value. And so your value, how valuable you are to the marketplace, will fluctuate based on you and your ability to bring your solution, and your ability to identify the problem that you're actually solving. And so, and to really bring this all together, and this is just the one situation, and then on the next video, on the next podcast, we'll talk about the challenge and the other offers that I'm working on. But the thing is this: don't do this. I mean, you don't have to experience this. You don't like I lost a week for the most part. I continue to work. I continue to slowly do little stuff, but I lost a week because my feelings got in the way. My feelings got hurt because I felt invalid, like I wasn't validated because somebody said no to an offer. Like that's not how this thing works. There are still people that need the solution that I have. There are still problems that needs to be solved. There's still work that needs to be done. And the thing is that I understand that this relationship is going to be way more valuable than the money, but I allowed that moment, that one thing, to take the one thing that I don't have, that I can't get back, that there is no return, there is no receipt, and that's my time. And so this limited resource I allowed to go by because of something that was said, because of a situation that happened. And so my wisdom, my word of knowledge to you is to not allow this to happen. Take hold of what you have. Understand your gift. Understand what you're worth. Go research in the marketplace what people are charging, so you don't undercut what you're actually worth and the value that you ultimately bring into whatever situation that you're bringing that value to. And so make sure that you charge what you're worth, and don't be afraid to charge what you're worth. Also, don't be afraid for people to say no. This is what I learned. This is the one of the last bits on this podcast, or this episode, right? Is that it is better for people to say no, if especially if you know what you're worth, if you know what you're charging is equivalent to the result that you can get. It is better for people to say no to your high price than for people to say yes to a low price, and it costs you more than what you're actually desiring to put in, and you're getting less out. And so what I mean is that if you know what you're worth, if you know how much the job cost, and you're saying that this is what it cost, and people are saying no to that, you're talking to the wrong people. It's not that your offer or your cost is too high, that you're charging too much. Is that you're talking to the wrong person. Like I said, if I would have made the offer, if I would have told him that price the first time, he would have been like, yeah, let's do it. But because I had already agreed on a thing and then I changed it, then it was a problem. Now when I messaged him, I was like, I will do the what I said the first time, and then we can reevaluate as we continue to work together. And I meant that, like I understand, I get what I'm worth, but also I will stand by my word. I'm not going to say I'm not going to get in my feelings saying that he don't like, because I agreed first. I agreed first. And so my integrity won't let me just say, well, forget you. Like, you're not going to pay what I said the second time, then forget this. I don't want to do it. No, that's not how this works. I understand, like with integrity, I understand that that was my word that I said the first time. So I'm going to stand by that. Right. Okay. So charge what you're worth, understand and know that the marketplace determines your value. The marketplace determines your value. You can know your worth. You can know the time that you put in. You can know the results that you get. But ultimately, the marketplace determines your value. And if you know that, uh, if you have the results, if you have the things that you know, the results that you can already get, you already seen it. You already know that, like you got testimonials. Then go and charge what you know you're worth. Go and charge what you know you're worth, and then find the people that's willing to pay the price to get the result that you give. So that is the word for today. Understand that God gives you your worth, marketplace that gives you your value. And the difference between worth and value is value, with the way that we identify it in the marketplace, is money, right? Worth, when God said, well, what I understand about God is that he when I say that God gives us our worth, he paid the price with his only son, right? And so, like, I'm saved by that. That is where my worth is. And how I got out of that pit of feeling like no momentum, feeling like discouraged and all this stuff, I had to shift my mind back into the right identity. So I had an identity shift again because I got discouraged. I had to shift my identity and see who I was outside of all of this stuff, right? And so once I did that, then I was able to get back where I needed to be so that I can accomplish things that I'm trying to accomplish. And so don't let people determine your worth. Don't let people determine your worth, but understand that the marketplace does determine your value and what you're able to charge. And so again, I know that it may be confusing, but to make it clear, charge what you're charge what you're worth. And what I mean is that if you have testimonials, if you have results that you know you can get, and there's a certain price, the marketplace has already identified this price for this kind of solution, charge that. Don't undercharge. At the same time, understand that if you don't have results, then you might have to charge less. But at the same time, charge what you're worth, and then find the people that will say yes to the price that you have already identified. All right. Thank you for watching this podcast. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you go and